Get her going on a fun Leaf Hour edition of the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee, Jake the Snake Schultz, Derek Brandeo, Ethan Jaja Gabor. We're live on Sportsnet 360, 590 The Fan in Toronto, streaming always on Sportsnet Plus. Also available Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, where we appreciate your thumbs up. The Toronto Maple Leafs, on a night where we weren't sure what we were going to get based on facing the top team in the National Hockey League, Colorado, yet we talked yesterday, JB, about keeping it close or at least having a good look based on what we've seen in the past. But safe to say with a overtime win, did they over-deliver for us last night?
Yeah, I think you talk a lot about statement games and games that are sort of a benchmark and see how you hold up against this team. You're on the road. They've been very good. A million different reasons why you think the Avalanche are the league's best team. And boy, yeah, over-deliver is a good word. I thought the second period in particular, they came out and took it to them in a period where the long change has typically worked in favor of the Avs. That was one of those games where you don't have to squint to look at the Leafs and go, okay, might have something here.
I'm looking at my boy Sammy right now, and all I can think of is, Sammy,
no, I'm not
just when you think you're out, they pull you back in.
I'm not saying anything. Long road trip ahead.
Pull you back in. You're in, bud. You're all in. I can see it in your eyes. Look at that smile.
Like, emotionally, you're back.
Sammy.
Well, yeah. Like, I'm clearly back to enjoying these games and back to watching them hoping they win as opposed to hoping they lose.
Ooh,
in terms of looking for a
so
draft.
guarded right there, isn't he?
It is. Well, yeah.
You've been
He's been hurt.
You've
man.
been hurt
He's
so
been hurt.
bad that you just enjoy it a little bit,
Lay down
Sammy.
on the
Come
couch
on.
and let us talk to you. Lay down.
They beat McCarr. They beat McKinnon. They did it on their ice.
Yeah, it was
They
fantastic.
shut down this consecutive win streak at home.
Fantastic stuff.
Why are you need backflips right now, Sammy?
It was an awesome game, and I am incredibly happy that they are heading in the right direction. And if I am not mistaken, if our boy Jake the Snake could maybe get the standings up, if I look here,
Whoa.
if I have a quick
They're
look,
above that line.
that's new.
The Leafs are in the playoffs.
That seems a little different than it seemed.
for the first time since November 7th.
They were in the playoffs that long from the beginning of the season to November 7th.
Well, I don't know exactly. Maybe they're out and back in for a day.
I didn't think for long stretches of this season that they had the way they looked last night in them.
Yeah.
And for example, if you had told me in the middle of November that they're going to go into Colorado and play in a second period and not only outscore the Colorado Avalanche in the second period with the long change, but outshoot them in the second period with the long change in a second period, I mean, I would not have believed you for a second. This turnaround has been remarkable. I'm not going to say they're all the way back. They're in the playoffs. It's nice. But what a game. I mean, what a hockey game.
Statistically, every single night, I get a report from SportLogic post-game that gives me, expected goals, OZ time, possession time, slot shots, high danger chances, all these different things. The Leafs get out-possessed all year long. They don't have the puck nearly as much as their opposition.
Yeah, except for last night.
Right. When they're pretty good, they're high danger chances. They'll have more. Like, they'll lose in every category but high danger chances. Last night, they had more than a minute and a half of ozone possession time than Colorado did there. They were the better team.
Okay, let's listen to Craig Berube. Let's hope he's more excited than our Sammy.
What the hell?
Yeah, no, for sure. I thought
He's not.
good team effort. Everybody was involved and contributed tonight, and so big kill at the end on that third. It was obviously a big part of the game, but goalie was good. Team effort, really good team effort.
So let me get it. What do you want me to say?
No, nothing.
What do you want me to say? Like, they're all the way back.
I don't want you to say anything. I want you to be Sammy.
I am really happy. I'm happy they won, but you want me to be like, this is the turning point of the season. This is when they go. You want me to get really happy so that when they lose 4 in a row, you can be like, "You idiot! You are the biggest idiot." That's what you want.
I love
I
But
figured
you've done it for 4 years.
I figured out. It's
Okay.
taken me 4.5
Gibson,
years to
the
figure out.
Simpsons, say the line.
Say the line. Say the line. But I saw somebody send a tweet last. I think maybe I want to say maybe Dr. Grizzo tweeted this on Twitter, if I'm not mistaken.
boy.
That I'm doing a cross sport reference here, so we're going to bring in
You're
some
good.
Jays into
Sports.
this.
You're good. You're good.
That
Go with it.
That game last night was the Jays versus the Yankees Canada Day series,
Yeah.
where the season had been pretty crappy up until that point, but they had been gaining momentum and getting hot, and then the Jays swept away.
And all of a sudden you go, oh, we got something
oh
here.
my God, maybe they're actually good. Like
Right.
maybe they're actually going to go on a little bit of a run here. And they got pretty close to something pretty good there at the end. We all know that. But I thought it was a good comparison. And yeah, how can you not look at that as not anything other than a statement win? Like
The one thing I will note, too, is if you're a team that is farther down in the chase group right now, climbing these standings is brutal. The Sabres won 10
Yeah.
straight games. They're in the last wild card spot. Leafs 8-0-2 in their last 10. They're in a wild card spot.
Mm-hmm.
You can't make up ground. You go cold for, I don't know, 7 days.
And that's exactly why I'm not trying to get too ahead of my skis.
Yeah.
It's like last night was their best performance of the season. No question. But it's going to take 4 to 5 more best performances of the season to give them some breathing room on a playoff spot. So it's good, though.
And to your point in the Eastern Conference, I don't know if you want to throw the board up right now, but like Tampa Bay keeps winning. Detroit keeps
10-0
winning.
in their
So
last 10.
like they haven't gained on those 3 in particular. They've done a nice job in that mushy middle, but it's still really tough here. The Leafs have taken
18 of a possible 20.
18 of a possible
And they've
20.
gained 1 point on Montreal and 1 point on Detroit.
It's
And
crazy.
lost ground to Tampa.
It's crazy. Right?
That's
So that's where, unfortunately, a 2 or 3 game losing streak kind of sets back, I don't know, 10 days.
But that's the
12 days.
punishment for how god awful they were
Yes.
for such a stretch there, where bad injuries, Matthews bad, whatever, and all of a sudden it's like, God, though, you know, a few things have changed. Few guys have become more important, right? Bobby McMahon last night, scores a big goal for them, and recently has taken a step. I'm even going to say it. Matias Maccelli, pretty good. Looking really good. Some of the underlying stuff about possession and shot attempts and all that, when he's on the ice, they're pretty good for a stretch here.
You had an awesome point a while ago about Maccelli, about some of the competition that you're playing against. And I thought that in particular for him, last night's a big test. Like, you can look great against the Canucks. You can look great against the Devils,
Sure.
the Jets, the Flyers. Like, you can have these nights. But to go in there against the best team in the league, missing some guys, clearly. Like, people would love to remind me that Taves wasn't playing and Landeskog wasn't playing and they had their third stringer and that, whatever. Still a hard place to win. And to have him look as good as he did again, like, maybe didn't need to sit out a month.
9 games looks like a lot in retrospect.
Does it ever?
Hindsight 2020, maybe that month straightened him out.
No,
Yeah,
you're right.
you're right, yeah.
Tough to quibble with. He found it, whatever it took. So.
Yeah.
Okay, let's stay on the theme of a measuring stick win. Let's go to Craig Berube first before we go to Captain Austin Matthews.
You're coming into this building. I don't think they have a regulation loss, right? A couple overtimes, now 3, but they got the best record in the league. So, you're in a battle. It's always a battle here no matter what. But, I thought our guys rose up to the occasion and did a good job. That's important, and it shows that we can compete with anybody in the league if we play the right way and do the right things. Like, for me, it's puck management. I thought our puck management was really good tonight. I thought, we made real good decisions with it, moved it well, and kept our shift short. We talked about that. It's important here to keep your shift short. And guys did a real good job of it and came away with 2 points.
I think covering the game last night, myself, your JB, you, Elliot, and Cameron, or Carolyn Cameron, the one thing that we did stress last night was you don't want to run and gun with this team up the middle of the ice. I think in those first 3 or 5 minutes, you see Brock Nelson, 2 grade A chances on Joseph Wall to start the game. You go down 1-0, you go down 2-0. Is it a different feel for you the rest of the way?
Yeah. No, give Wool credit, right? He was really good. That happened in another game with them recently where they had some early opportunities, maybe against New Jersey, and then they sorted themselves out a little bit. But yeah, gave them the saves they needed in the first couple minutes. And, now obviously we're going Hildeby tonight.
It's got to be, yeah.
And then a day off, so you get Wool a couple days rest in there, and yeah, he's finding a groove a little bit.
You're not going to beat the Colorado Avalanche on their home ice for the third time all year without your goaltender making some spectacular saves. And to settle them in early like that, where Brock Nelson gets in behind you and you just get a couple big saves early, that feels like it gave him some momentum.
Yeah.
Outside of Nelson's first two chances, he made a slot save on Kelly with a right pad.
Yeah.
That again, I think the guys on the bench can go, holy moly!
It's a free one. He took one off the board.
Totally here.
Man, people are, that's a good trade for both teams. People were making fun of the Avs for how much they gave up. He was buzzing.
I can't believe how he moves. He's skating so well, and just worth mentioning. I can't believe how good Marty Necas is. Or I shouldn't say was. He was.
Was he maybe like the most dynamic player last night?
Oh, yeah. He was a threat. Every time he got it was like more than McKinnon.
Yeah. Well, McKinnon ended up, I think, between him and Makar,
really?
there were like 5 points. Mm-hmm. But between the assists, I think he may have had one shot on goal in the first 40 minutes.
Yeah. Also, Willie stripped him in OT and then beat him back up the ice. That shot by Willie was also, to rip that 5-hole like that on a goalie coming across.
Is Willie the best 3-on-3 player in history? Like, he owns it.
Those two teams.
He owns it.
He's in the conversation. I'm not joking.
If you put out a 3-on-3 league, those two teams would be pretty good teams.
Oh, my God. Well, he puts it under Makar's stick with McKinnon on the back check. Like, that's a pretty good squad on the ice there in blue.
Team Sweden action there. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Willie Nylander fires it in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw who he was with, and he was like, I better. That's the play Willie makes. He strips the puck free, and then he's like, oh, boy, I got to find a way to get this across.
All right, I want to hear this one. Craig Berube on what's changed with the Leafs.
I just think overall team play. I think just playing the system defensively, we've been a lot better, obviously, and that's a big part of the game. And we're scoring goals too. But like I said the other day, we've scored goals all year. But defensively, we're just a lot tighter and a lot better.
I got it down to just 3 things.
No, it's the coach's system. Obviously, that's why they turn it around. It's my system.
Goaltending, special teams, and Austin has shown up.
Goaltending, special teams, Austin.
It's hard to can't quibble with any of that.
I'm going to just add ozone play. Like you highlighted wall battles. I don't know if we ever ran the pack that you put together.
I think we did in the post.
Did we?
A little late.
Yeah. No one saw it. I don't remember.
I asked for it in the first period.
But the amount of times that you saw guys cut back, hang on to it, bump it to someone behind the net. And it's like,
keep it out of the middle of the ice.
Right. Just play along the wall until you find your way in or get a shot through the lanes.
And Bobby McMahon, to me, is like, that's in his wheelhouse. Yes, he can beat you up the ice if you want to get into a sprint with him. But he's doing everything that I think Craig Berube envisions. I
got to tell you, every time I'm like, this guy could be, a playoff monster for them. I remember that he was completely useless in playoffs last year.
Not just
what the
playoffs.
Hell happened?
Like from the start of March until the end of the playoffs.
24 games without a goal. It's like, how can you skate like that at that size, shoot like that?
You know what what the difference is? Last year wasn't a contract year, brother.
I just think it's
maybe, I don't know.
Experience or lack of it or expectations.
Exposure to that.
Yeah, I got to think this time around, Leafs make the playoffs, which everybody hopes that they do here. He's in a position to look upon himself as more of that guy now.
Yeah.
And I don't know where this is all headed for them. You could look at Michelli, right? And you like Michelli and where he's headed, but like, never played a playoff game in his life. You don't know.
I'd kill for that problem.
Right? You don't know.
To find out that he.
Yeah, I mean, I'd find out if we were going to find out Michelli sucks in the playoffs. That's great because it means they made the playoffs. So, like,
you're ready to settle for that, eh?
at this point,
Yeah.
like, what am I supposed to
I
come
don't
in and be
think
like they're cup contending?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know what the
They're
expectations
going
They've
full
changed.
2019 Blues here with the Bruins.
I'm not far off on him. Like with that start over 30 games and then last night, I think there's a lot of people like Sammy right now that would look at making the playoffs or maybe possibly even winning one round a huge success.
Well, winning one round would be
Right?
tie their best. So, yes.
It
Right?
would literally be their best effort.
But by the way, we shouldn't dismiss that. Like, if you're one of the final 8 teams, it's a pretty good season. But
if they get knocked out in the first round.
well, that's the thing is, like, look at Ottawa's season last year. Is that a successful season?
For them, it was.
Well, and is that
It was,
where the
it was
Leafs
a
are?
building block for them.
To the basement?
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
It
The
was
foundation fell out
supposed
on
to
the-
be a building block.
I get it. But I'm asking the questions. How, expectations at the start of the year for the Leafs were this, then they went in the gutter, and are they back to this, or now we just like have an Ottawa year and we'll take it?
I'm just kind of, it's actually a refreshing way to live as a Leaf fan, where the last few years,
People haven't cared about the season at all.
the regular season sucked, and we've talked about how much the
108
No, we didn't care about the regular
Well,
season.
but it's, I mean,
Now we care about the regular
but we
season.
talked about how we don't care about this every day, being like, yeah, they're going to play Tampa in the first round again, and away we go. They're going to play whoever in the first round again, and away we go.
Now they're going to get Carolina in the first
Well,
round.
now it's like I'm turning on every game, saying to myself,
They need this.
this is a big game.
Yeah.
And it's been so many years since they've had to do that. It's a different experience as a fan.
The other equation in all of this is that we are looking at it for the first time that, okay, the Leafs are flawed, right?
Oh, yeah.
But so are they, so are they, so are they, and so are they.
Right.
We've never really done that before.
No, it's like if you put me on the line for a 100-meter dash, you'd say, I don't like his chances of beating anyone. But if I look around and it's a bunch of people with one leg,
You're going up
I'm
against,
like,
you're going up against me.
it's like,
I
got
can beat that bag
I
of
got
milk.
a shot here. And that's kind of where it is for the Leafs.
Like the first place team in the Atlantic Division is the Detroit Red Wings with a +4 goal differential.
Crazy. I looked at some standing stuff. I don't know if you guys saw my tweet today, but like Florida has the easiest schedule left in the Atlantic. Tampa Bay the second easiest. It just feels like Tampa's going to win the division. Florida's going to be in the 2-3 game.
We saw Braden Point go down,
Yeah.
and it was ugly.
Is there any update on that today? We haven't heard any new news on that yet.
So I think didn't Coop after the game say that he was going to travel with the
Traveling
team?
to Pittsburgh, which is very strange.
No, it's not. It's not really
Why is it not?
because they're going to go home right after that.
Just let the swell go
And
down.
what are you going to do? Send him, get a commercial flight for him? You're going to get a private plane to get him home?
Yeah, I'd probably go with the boys to Pittsburgh.
You're going to go to Pittsburgh. If there's swelling, you get to treat it.
Mhm.
A day or two isn't going to make a difference.
Mhm.
So just hearing that he's staying with the team for one more road game before they go home, to me, isn't a sign that it's not.
They're going home post game tonight. So yeah.
Rotten play. Just dove right into it. I don't think he's trying to hurt him by any stretch, but just dove right into
God,
his
it's been a
knees.
tough year for him, eh? When it's come to
Yeah.
injuries.
He's not having a great year, but if he can't play for Canada, that's a big loss.
Let's just quickly do it. Is the fill in for him Bedard or Stan Bennett?
I don't know.
Because he's the guy who's like he's a skill guy, he's a center, but at the same time he's kind of a third line center.
He's a big loss. He can play every
But
situation.
he's a right-handed shot too, which Connor is, Bedard, and Bennett isn't.
but
But-
Bennett's been there.
Of course, he knows that perfectly.
Yeah. But
It's the most impressive
You
thing
you
to
were
do.
like, does he shoot left?
I
Does
don't
he
even
shoot-
bother thinking about it.
I don't know.
I could never picture it.
Never.
I have like
If I asked you, if
blind spot.
I could offer you $100,000 to definitively tell me players left or right, you can't do it.
honestly, I have sat here and been like, okay, Matthews shoots, and I have to like picture goals in his career and be like, okay, I can get there on Matthews. Past that, but it's like face blindness or something.
I
I could say it definitively. It just might not be right. I'm like, right. He's right. 100K.
I could have vertigo right now and get up and tell you who shoots left or right.
Yeah.
It would be funny to try to get all the Leafs. Like, obviously, Willie's a righty from
The all-time
like,
story about this is that, I don't know, he was at Coppenwood when we went there for like a tournament, and we were sitting there at a table, and a guy came up to Kyper and was like, we used to play beer league together. He's like, oh, yeah, you were a right-hand shot defenseman. And he's like, yeah, I was.
Hey, Kip had a 50-50 chance of that swing,
no, like
you guessed fastball and hit one. That's what I think.
He was. Oh, you think he's like a psychic that doesn't actually know, but just guessing generalities?
Totally.
I thought he nailed him.
Yeah.
I thought he nailed him. Anyways,
They make a lot of money, those psychics.
I got to tell you, this just because I'm tired and I'm rambling. Like on Long Island, the whole medium thing is a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
And they get you with the generalities. Oh, yeah. Like if you ever see any roses, it's a message from them. It's like, it's rose season.
They blew. The Long Island Medium was a very popular show, wasn't it?
Among a certain audience, it sure was.
Austin Matthews. Let's go to Craig Berube's thoughts on his captain, and then we'll go to ours.
Yeah, no, he's there's a lot of that Austin Matthews, like with speed coming down, pulling it in and ripping it, hit the crossbar there in a one. He's getting his looks every game now, and like I said before, it's the skating and demanding the puck.
Demanding the puck.
Okay, but you can't play him that much.
25 minutes last night. Over 25?
Yeah, and like 20, almost, I think he had 30 shifts, which is like 8 more than the next highest guy. At the end of the game, he was dying for an oxygen tank, and he just kept smashing button 34, 34, 34. It's like, let him catch his breath. He'll be better.
And Lawton, not much
11.
more than 11?
Yeah.
Dude, gotta toss him a couple more minutes. Truly. He can skate. He's responsible. Like, just let him eat 2 more.
I think Lawrence played 9. Cowan was down in the 11 range.
Listen,
I thought
Toronto still showed more depth than Colorado. Like,
Yeah, Colorado didn't use.
their fourth line is non-existent.
They played.
Who is Ivan?
C-
Ivan.
Is that 2 first names or 2 last names?
Yes. Last night, I covered the game professionally for my career, and looking at the name Z Bardakov for the Avalanche, he was a player on their team last night. I had no idea.
How are they going to win a Stanley Cup in 4 rounds playing like 9 guys?
Z Bardakov?
How many minutes for him?
He played 434. So anyway, that Solovyov was on the ice quite a bit at the end of the game. Solovyov.
I look at that as 2 teams that, like, I think that's as much of a compliment for the Leafs as that is for the Colorado Avalanche. That the coach felt like they needed to play their tough guys just as much to match up with Austin
They're
Matthews.
chasing the game.
Yeah,
They're like, boys, we need one here. We can't play Ivan or Gavin Brindley.
Ivan Squared's only getting 2 tonight.
I deuces.
Do we have any background on the Ivan story? Like,
His name's Ivan. His last name also Ivan.
but like, does anyone ask him at all about like who are you named after?
We got to say until 2 in the
Guessing
morning.
it was Ivan. Bull was also
Who named him? Like Stuttering John from the Howard Stern show?
His probably his parents.
I don't know Ivan's background.
I'll do some digging.
Senseless.
Jaja, get on it.
It's somebody's assignment
Get
here.
on
Is
Ivan.
someone explain to me?
I'm tired. All right. Let's talk about some stuff.
Bourne.
Bourne.
I don't know where to go off of Ivan.
So we're talking about Matthews.
Yes.
And
Okay.
did you have something to say about it?
It's great to watch. It's fun. I don't know. Are we allowed, or do we not?
You're about to.
Are we allowed to ask like where you been? Like what happened?
So I had this
just move
thought
on.
today. No, I
move
had
on.
this
Do
exact thought
not
today.
look in the rearview mirror.
Like, if he's just back, if he's the 60-goal scoring pace guy now from now to the end of the year, it's a massive question to me. What happened? What happened last year? What happened until December 23rd? Did you just decide emotionally to try again? Were you not trying? And probably that's not the answer. So what happened? Did everything get healed all at the exact same time? Were you in bad shape and needed some games to get into shape? What happened?
The Miner needed a pick to puck that one, to dig that one out of the net.
Man, that just about hit someone in the front row that went through the net so hard. Jeez.
I love this Sally too, with the guy double
Guy with the
bird.
birds.
I don't know. If
This is
he's
great. Love that we're having this conversation.
maybe there's more energy now in him. Maybe it's
But why?
Maybe Germany's beautiful around Christmas.
Maybe.
I don't know.
if he's playing hard for 40 games, is he going to be better rested for the playoffs?
Not if you play him 25, 38 per night at elevation in a back-to-back.
I think, the theory that I've brought up to you guys is just they were in last place, cruise control. We suck. Nothing's happening. And then, like I said before, guy loses his job and they've been great ever since. You have a hard time convincing me that didn't.
You think it sent a message?
I think it was way more mental than it was physical.
Yeah.
And it just woke them all up, that it shook the snow globe. And they played the right stretch of hockey against the right stretch of teams that weren't that great. They've got their mojo
Got their
back.
health back.
They got healthy. I think Matthews, I think a lot of it was mental before. Now watching this, I would have said it was physical before, but watching him play like this now, I have a hard time. You'd have a really hard time convincing me it was. Same with you guys?
Buddy, I'm genuine when I say I don't know, but I can't believe a player would pout his way through a full season and a half. And not to say pout, but I can't believe it's just emotional. That's too big a leap for me to think that a guy was just like, happy, whatever. And then all of a sudden be like, oh, yay. Sam's a mess. That's a long.
But does that happen?
A year and a half worth?
I mean, how many times have we seen a team suck and then a coach get fired and then the team be really good for a long time? It happens all the time in hockey. And he is at the head of it. He is the top of the snake. Or the top of the snake. The head of the snake. We were all until 2 in the morning.
This is all over Mark Savard.
I just think.
I think he's saying firing.
I just think somebody being gone because you sucked. That's my only theory. Or else he visited Healing Hans on Christmas.
Whatever it is, it's better than mine because I'm with JB. I haven't got a clue. I can't even begin, and it would just be a guess.
And I am so sure we will never find out because he won't do that, right? He's not a open book, therapy through the media type of guy.
But he will tell us if last night was a measuring stick game against the Avs. Let's have a listen.
All right.
Clip one.
Clip one.
Well, I just think internally going into this game, I mean, we've been playing great hockey, and I think, we deserve the right to have the confidence coming into this game. And, it doesn't matter who you're playing. It doesn't matter if, it's the number one team in the league or a team that's, won 17 straight on the road. I mean, I think it's just the belief and confidence that you can go into any rink, no matter the situation, and play a complete game and come out with 2 points. And I think that's really the bottom line. I mean, it wasn't about anything else tonight except, all 20 guys going out there and competing and doing what we could to come out with 2 points.
He's talking more.
Yeah, that was more.
Yeah.
It's like everything. It just sounds like he looks like himself, sounds like himself. It's all very strange. By the way, twice in Luke Falk's articles now, he's mentioned their music in their dressing room, and this is me leading the campaign to get Come On Eileen as their goal song because they play it after wins now, and they love it, and it's a wonderful pick-me-up. But also, they play Wonderwall for Joseph Wall when he gets a win, which I really like. It's a nice touch. So boys have a little bit of camaraderie going right now.
Yeah. They win every face-off.
Yeah. That is
how their centers, all their centers,
60.
win every draw, it feels like. Matthews, Tavares is amazing. Lawton obviously has been the hottest face-off guy in the league. Waugh's really good at it.
Yeah.
You look at their centers, and having all 4 of their centers healthy and playing well is a huge reason.
Where do you think they are league-wide in face-off percentage?
I think
Top 5?
Numero uno.
Yeah, number 1.
1.
I mean, does that pass the eye test? Feels like they win every draw.
Yeah. 56.6% of face-offs go in their favor. Pretty darn good. Matthews has been good at it. Lawton's got the leg in there. I tried to do a little feature on that last night.
Gets in Natchez' face.
What's that?
I liked when he got in Natchez' face.
That was great.
He was pissed that he snapped his head back for sure.
That was fun.
Yeah.
One other thing to talk about, Nick Robertson hurt, gets a shot in the knee.
Yeah.
And it was a tranquilizer puck. It actually hit him and made him completely
numb.
I don't know. He just kind of went limp on the ice. And it was like, what is he? He didn't try to get up. He just I have no idea. It must be very serious.
Yeah, but our Luke Fox tweeted that he was walking around okay after.
I don't know then.
Don't be rolling your eyes on me on my Nick Robertson, okay?
My Nicky.
It took me over a year to build him up.
Oh my God. I have been the Nick Robertson guy. You don't get to steal him the second he's good.
Oh,
I've been
I love that
taking
player. I love
the
the guy.
lashings over calling him.
Stealing him.
Oh, by the way, last night on the broadcast, Kip's like, I think this guy could be a 25-goal guy. And I was like, are you kidding me? For 4 years, that's been my take. And finally, the guy gets on.
What? No
has an epiphany
way.
on air.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I didn't see it coming, but I'm all in on Nick.
Yeah.
I am.
It's because he's, I think for you, not to speak for you, but he's better without the puck now. And that makes a big difference. Here's the puck. Oh, by the way, I don't mean to make light of it. I know that. Hurts. I know that stings. And
I just probably hit a nerve or something. I don't expect him to play tonight. I don't expect a guy that didn't finish the game in 22 hours to be okay the next night.
No, I
don't know. We'll see.
I might as well just lay it out there.
You wanted him to try to get up.
I wanted him to try to get off. I wanted him to put some weight on it.
Yeah.
I wanted it unless you have something cracked or broken, I want to see you go do a lap at the commercial break and see how it feels. I don't want you just to lay there, then go home. And I think he's going to play tonight. I think he's fine. That's what I think.
You're hard on my Nicky.
Let's go to break. We got Billy Armstrong coming up.
Billy Armstrong. Do we get to ask him about all the whistling that's going on in Utah?
Yeah. We got questions.
We got questions. The general manager of the Utah Mammoth, Bill Armstrong, next after these words. Welcome back to the program. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. It's the Real Kyper and Bourne Show, Leaf Hour edition. Let's welcome in Bill Armstrong, General Manager of the Utah Mammoth, as the Leafs face off against Utah tonight, 24 hours after beating Colorado. Army, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing awesome. How are you doing?
We're well, thanks. I don't know, maybe a tough time to play the Leafs after last night. What do you think?
Well, you know what? You as a GM, you always look down and you're always like, oh, they're going through a slump and they're coming through town. We're so excited to play them, and the Leafs have been hot lately. So, but it'll be a good challenge for us tonight. You know, they're a heck of a team with a heck of a coach. So we're looking forward to playing them. You know, every game for us is Game 7, so it's going to be a good battle.
Yeah, the Mammoth are not exactly doing too badly themselves of late. They're on a nice little run. You guys have put together some wins. I wanted to get your thoughts on where preseason expectations were, where your team is, and how you feel about how you've got to where you're at.
Well, it's interesting. Like, we obviously got some high ratings coming out with some of our trades in the summer, and some of the guys from Nate Schmidt that we signed, to the JJ Peterkas that we traded for, and the team came together pretty nicely. I think, you know, for us, we got off to a hot start, and then we kind of cooled down. But I think a lot of it had to do with our road schedule. I don't think people understood that, you know, at one point we had played 8 more road games than most of the teams in the National Hockey League. So you got to grind to play eight more games. And we had played the most amount of games at one point in the National Hockey League. And I think it wore us down with some of the back-to-backs on the road. And we were able to get home where we get a little seven-game homestand here, and we can make some hay. But I like our team. You know, obviously we sustained a pretty bad injury to Logan Cooley and lost him for a little bit, and he's our number 1 player. But minus that, our guys have stepped up, and I really like our team, and I like our fight, and we're right in the hunt for a playoff spot. So we're kind of right where we're supposed to be.
Bill, covering the Leafs here in our Leaf Hour edition, we've seldom seen a playoff fight from top to bottom, either in the division or the conference, especially the East. But it's starting to shape up a little bit that way for you guys. Just, I guess, technically out on the outside looking in, tied with LA right now. But can you ever recall seeing anything, you know, like this before? And what is the difference going to be, particularly for your group, to be on the right side come April? Is it a little bit more skill? Are you heavy enough? Are you tough enough? I know you got McBain there and Krause are big boys, but could you always add a little bit more?
Well, we have Lamoureux, who's like 6'7", and Simashev that are 6'5", that are close to playing on the backside in the minors. And so we're, you know, and we just added Boot, who's like 6'8", up front. So we've got size coming. It's only a matter of time before we're probably the biggest team in the National Hockey League. But at this point, we're, you know, I like what we have that we have on the lineup right now. We're a pretty competitive bunch. I think if we had to say what's going to get us in, it's really consistency. It is a lose one, win one, and stay with the game plan and the process. It is mentally grinding. We play. You don't practice because you rest, and then it's a day off, and then you play, and it's just repeat. And you're on the road, you're up, you're back, you're caught in a snowstorm. It's just like, who can be consistent through that process and keep, you know, a really good environment for the players. And even though you get your butts kicked one night, you're coming back to the rink with a fresh start, ready to go. And it's the team that kind of has the toughest mindset that's going to get in, because it's a battle. And it's not like you're, you know, the teams are so evenly placed in the league. It's just every night you could win or lose. It's the third period. There's a minute left and you're tied every night. So it is a grueling schedule. It is so evenly matched in the NHL right now. The team with the toughest mindset to fight through and consistency is the one that gets in.
Bill, certainly you guys have turned the page from being an organization that is not get to be a part of those games to your fan base is in it. You guys are in the grind every night, right? This is the time where you guys are making your push. And I look at your guys' draft picks. You got 10 picks this year. You got 10 picks next year. You're already in a playoff hunt. You got guys on the way. How aggressive do you anticipate being as you head towards the deadline this year?
Well, that's a good question. I think our players will lead us there. You know, I've always had a feeling your team kind of tells you how aggressive you need to be. But my roots come from St. Louis and building, and when we won a cup that year, we added Michael Del Zotto down the stretch. That was it. Our core was already there. My thought process with the amount of picks and the players that we have coming, we have 5 first-round draft picks outside our organization, from McGinley to Denoyer to Simashev and Baudouin and Lamoureux, and they're good players. So there's a little bit of a patient game on our side. Doesn't mean we won't add, doesn't mean we can't add, but our team will tell us, where we're going down the stretch and what exactly we should do. But we've got a ton of good players coming in with a ton of picks still to make. So we're a team that is a pretty good NHL team with a lot of good young prospects coming.
Bill, how fun is it being on this side of it after the work of having to do the rebuild?
Well, listen, I work for SEG. I mean, the only problem that I can think working for Ryan Smith and Ashley Smith is one thing, is like, we don't have any excuses. Like, we used to have all these excuses about bad owners, bad planes, bad hotels, no rink, no practice. Like, behind me it's incredible. Like, it's absolutely incredible. We go down to our rink, it's all been redone. You stay in the best hotels, you get the best private chefs. It's like we're just out of excuses here. So it's been a great change. We went from the worst to the best, and it's been nice. We always have a saying inside the organization: we deserve it.
You do. No argument here.
We can't use that line here on our panel here, that's for sure. You're watching and listening to Bill Armstrong, general manager of the Utah Mammoth. So a hot button topic all season long covering the Leafs has been power play, specialty teams. And you guys are not in a place where you want to be, much like the Leafs were in the first, 6-8 weeks. You guys sit 29th right now with the talent that you have. How do you guys turn this thing around like the Leafs?
Well, one of our things, like, when you first start to rebuild, all your analytics are completely red, and now you go into a room and we're all green except the power play. So it's a little bit frustrating with our group. Our penalty kills is good. If you look, we've got amazing goals against, but that's one area, if we can fix and we can tidy up, that will help us get in. Last year we were, no, go ahead.
Oh, no, finish your answer. Go ahead.
Well, last year we were at 24% on the same unit, same players. So we've got to find a better rhythm, a better way to play on the power play. And I have great faith in our group that we're going to get it done. Our second unit is actually taking huge strides too. So there's some growth. Obviously, if we're going to max out to become the best we can be, we got to get back to being an elite power play unit, and which we were last year. And I feel like we can make that step. And it's a huge, like, it's hard to score goals in the National Hockey League. So when you score in the power play, it's almost like you're winning the game. Right there.
And that's something I was just going to add to the Logan Cooley not being around. I'm sure he's missed in that department. Is he still anticipated similar timeline, maybe in the next few weeks, possibly a month?
Well, I think the timeline is a little bit maybe before the Olympics or after the break, see how he heals. But the good news is we're going to get a chance to get him back, and he's going to have some impact for us. And he's such a great kid. We miss him because of the speed. When you put him in our lineup, we go to be the fastest team in the National Hockey League. And he's a fun player to watch. He's aggressive, he's competitive, and he's pushing every day to get better. So for us, he's kind of the guy that makes it happen. And there's always goodness too when you're injured. And you guys know this is, Nick Schmaltz has stepped up and he's played unbelievable at center for us. So that's been a great sign for us. And to add, he went from the wing to playing center, and he's just been amazing at it. So that's always a bright spot for us.
Bill, we're ever getting closer to the Olympics where, as general managers, you guys will be shut down again with roster changes here. Without giving us trade secrets, although you're more than welcome to. How busy is it out there?
It's interesting. Last year, I thought it was going to be really busy at the Four Nations, and I never got the memo, but a lot of people went on vacation in Mexico. I could wait for my phone to ring, and it never rang. It depends, on the injuries. It depends on, is it going to happen? Do teams wait, to see, if the guy's injured coming out of the Olympics. There's a lot of things, everybody's, oh, the deals are going to be done before the Olympics. I don't think that's going to happen because of the fact that you're not going to pay all those assets to see your guy go over there now and get injured. So I think it'll, like anything, when there's a big decision or a negotiation, it always comes down to the final date. So I do think a lot of the deals will happen at the deadline, and I think it'll be kind of quiet during that term. I know we'll talk a lot. I'm not sure a lot of deals get done.
Last one from me here, Bill. We appreciate your time. Just want to ask about the fans whistling. Do you know why? Do you know what that is? It's kind of cool. It's unique. Do you like it?
It's European, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of.
It was just, I don't know. I'd rather they sing a song. Some things just happen organically, and somebody whistled, and now it's like it's this thing, and they're whistling. I'm just hoping that our players don't get distracted by it, or someone stops in the middle of the game, because they think they hear the whistle. Our players, I don't think they liked it, so hopefully that has an impact on the fans. And it was a weird thing. You hear this, like it's almost like fireflies or whatever it is. It's just, it was certainly different, that's for sure.
Would you take it to another level and maybe just get a little warning out to them that the players feel like it kind of it's up against the referee whistle, or you just leave it alone?
We had a couple players on the social media, just they kind of expressed their feelings about, hey, I wish you guys would do something else, like let's what's the
hopefully
chant
that's
Montreal? Hey, good night, something along those lines. Singing some songs would be great,
All right. Well, listen, we wish you all the best. Certainly appreciate your time here. Good luck tonight.
All right. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate having me on, and we'll see you.
Yeah, Bill
thanks for your
Armstrong,
time.
General Manager of the Utah Mammoth.
You don't like it?
Oh, it's horribly annoying.
It's
cool,
annoying.
unique
But
fan trait.
it's to his point. Like, it's not that far off from a referee whistle. I don't know. If you hear it quickly, could you just let up for a split second? Maybe.
It'll keep me awake tonight, at least, when I'm watching the second straight 10 p.m. puck drop.
Jaja looked into it a little bit, and he was telling me that that arena was built with particularly good acoustics in terms of bringing the sound back.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost an echo. And so that sound in that building, and I guess Jazz games are very loud there, sounds even more amplified. And so you can kind of create this unique thing. We have so few identifiable fan-based things in hockey compared to the coolest part of European soccer culture, which is the fan bases, the hooligans, the supporters. We got so little of that I hate to have a new fan base, do something unique and cool and have people be like, well, I don't know. That's not common in our sport.
I thought it was hilarious.
I mean, what about, you can't really say go Mammoth go. What do you say? Go Mams
Utah?
go?
How about Utah?
Go Utah go?
Sure.
Doesn't really roll out the tongue.
I don't know. Stick to the whistling.
How about let's go Mammoth? Let's go Mammoth.
That actually works perfectly.
Yeah, sure does.
I thought it was hilarious when he said, like, we don't have any excuses anymore.
Yeah, that's
and
great.
he named everything up against that old owner in Arizona.
Yeah.
And
I'm
Did every
trash.
excuse.
just wherever that owner is right now, he
catching strays.
like
His ears are burning.
he twitched. Bad
walked
ring,
over my
twitch.
grave.
Bad hotels, twitch. It's like everything.
To go back to our earlier conversation about Ivan.
Oh, you got information.
This is from Jake the Snake Schultz. So if it's wrong, blame him.
He's got two first names.
Okay. He told ColoradoEagles.com. That's their farm team, right?
Yeah.
The origin of his name, my dad's name is Merrick, and his last name is Ivan. Since Merrick and Ivan are both first names, people were always wondering whether his name was Merrick or Ivan. So he made it easier for me. I like it. It's special because there are not many people with my name.
Nope.
He's right. You nailed it. Ivan.
I wish Robert Thomas's dad had gone with Thomas.
Thomas.
Excellent.
Yeah, good
That
job.
research is awesome. Thank
Good job,
you,
Jake.
Yeah.
Good job, Jake.
But that's very funny that his dad was like, I'll simplify it by making it.
Very weird.
Yeah. That is something.
Is there any chance after what we think it was the most emotional win for the Toronto Maple Leafs, 24 hours later, you mentioned Austin playing 25 minutes, coming right back again, that there could be a little bit of a let-up?
Well, they're due to get cooked tonight, aren't they?
I don't know.
They've honestly,
Everything against them, minus a fresh goalie.
but if we had gone into these two games and said that they got 2 points out of Utah in Colorado,
Yeah.
we probably would have been somewhat acceptable. We would have been like, okay. Like, we all expected them to get
So you're
started
saying house
last night.
money tonight.
I think there's a bit of
I
house
was
money.
trying to sell last night's game as house money too. People don't think you're going to win? Go lay it on the table.
And I think if there's one thing that you can lean on is that Dennis Hildeby has been fabulous for
Yeah.
him. So that you could get a good start out of him, get them going early.
I'm sure he was awfully inspired last night from Joseph to follow it up.
Yeah. I got to say, this Utah team, I have been disappointed with where they're at in the standings. Like, you look at the West. The West is, guys, it's not good. You're going to get into the postseason with like 89 points or something. Seattle is in a playoff spot, and I don't think they're particularly strong. What's their goal differential? -5.
They aren't getting
San
in.
Jose is -19. They're in a wild card spot. LA's like Utah is +9. It is right there for the taking.
Not if your power play doesn't get going.
Well,
We know what it did to the
they
Leafs,
need Lawson
Seward.
Gross back.
Seward.
Logan Cooley back.
Yeah.
right?
But they're better than Seattle. They're better than San Jose.
Who won that trade of defensemen between Tampa and Utah, where J.J. Moser for Sergachev?
Yeah, man.
Who won that?
That was that. They got traded for each other?
Sergachev.
Yeah, plus though.
Is that
Yeah, it'd be
plus?
Moser plus, I'm sure, for Sergachev.
I don't know.
Moser's been
there
very good.
Was there a geeky involved in that?
But Sergachev's been good for them too. Sergachev's been good. They also, big deal with they traded Kesselring and Doan to get Peterka there. Peterka's got about 30 points this year, so he's been okay. He's been good.
He was traded from the Utah Hockey Club with Connor Geeky and a 7th-round pick that turned into Noah Steen for a 2nd-round pick that turned into Matthew Gard and Mikhail Sergachev. So
Should almost just assume when picks get traded, it's not for NHL players.
you should almost just assume that don't make trades with Tampa.
Yeah.
They're good there. They know players.
Pretty perspective. Meanwhile, Darren Radish is like
Light,
all-star.
lighting it up.
Yeah.
God, I'm glad there's no All-Star game this year.
Over a point per game.
Did I say that out loud?
What are we going to do about all-star games? Ugh,
We got to do that again next
we
year.
don't
It's
have to
like,
worry about it.
God, not having one All-Star comic. We have to come in here and do All-Star shows.
Rancid event.
Oof.
I like insurance seminars now.
Maybe they should play another sport. Have like an NBA All-Star game for the NHL. Just do something else.
Ball hockey.
Yeah, sure.
Our
Chef.
thanks to General Manager Bill Armstrong from Utah. All right, we're just getting started as we go national next. Darren McCarty, 4-time Stanley Cup champion, will tell us all about last night.
Fedorov.
Fedorov.
Heads.
right, we go national now on the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. We are live on Sportsnet 650 in Vancouver, Sportsnet 960 in Calgary, streaming always on Sportsnet Plus, also available Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Thumbs up on that. This hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365. In a few minutes, we'll welcome in Stanley Cup champion, 4-time Stanley Cup champion, also host of the Woodward Sports Network, Darren McCarty. Of course, a big night last night. Sergei Fedorov honored number 91 up in the rafters. We'll get Darren's thoughts on that for sure. And also Rick Dhaliwal will join us in about 35 minutes.
Hybrid rebuild talk?
Boy, that escalated quickly in Vancouver.
Yeah, man. I mean, even watching some of the highlights of that game last night, they're terrible. Like, just so porous. The gaps in coverage are gross. Effort is down. They don't have any skill. It's just not good right now.
Did you guys...
Fans are like, awesome start.
Did you see Fedorov coming out in the car on the ice?
Yes. Motor City.
Did he get to keep the car?
I think so.
Maybe it was his car. I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
I think he's fine. I think he's by his own.
I was going to say.
Financially stable.
I just don't know about you guys, but just one of the quintessentially coolest athletes of my life. Just total.
He was that dude when we were younger.
When I was a kid, there weren't many guys that I wanted on the Leafs more than Sergei Fedorov.
I mean, he could skate. He was big, had the white skates. He was cool. He was in the commercials.
The Nike commercials.
Yeah, the Nike commercials.
So he had the white skates with the swoosh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nike came out of nowhere, right? Because they were all baseball and football, and they were like hockey.
How did they make everyone's skates look like that last night? Think they should slap some white things on the outside? Yeah. Is that about it? A little skate shell or something? That was kind of cool. All the players did that for warm-up.
But Sundin was a big Nike guy, too. He had really cool... His I mean, this is gear nerd from being a kid, but he had Nike skates, but they were much more understated. They were just black with the swoosh on them. They look really cool, but God, I loved that.
I wasn't in awe a lot. Like, I was playing against Wayne Gretzky. I was against Mario Lemieux. Fedorov was one of those guys, too.
Really?
Yes. He was in a small group for me where I'm like, oh, my God, that guy's so good.
Was there, when you're playing in the NHL, because I've skated with a lot of NHL guys, and there's some guys I'm like, I can hang with that guy. This or that, maybe he does better, bigger, or whatever. But there's some guys I've been on the ice with. I'm like, that's so many levels above what I can do.
No. I had a lot of those, so many levels. Yeah.
But to me, that must have been Fedorov.
But
even a guy, you're in the NHL and you're looking at that guy, you're like, he should be in a different league.
I got to just focus on my level when they step on the ice. That's the fourth line.
Bring
right?
them to your level, if possible.
But it was the things that he could do on his skates. He was like Willie Nylander out there. And we marvel at Willie today, right?
Yeah, I think that's
as one of the best purest skaters in the league.
But then had Selke level defense of work too, and played defense one year. Remember that?
Yeah, with Scotty Bowman, put him on the blue line.
Put him on the blue line. How many games did that happen?
Really?
Yes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I remember that as a kid saying to myself, this is the craziest thing ever. Scotty Bowman, and he played for a stretch on defense.
Yeah. We'll get Darren McCarty's thoughts on that as well. The year we won the Cup, he was arguably the best player in the world. I don't think he won the scoring title there, but he won the Hart. And that was 93, 94.
Yeah. The only guy ever to win Selke and Hart in the same year, right? I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Watching
the more you know.
Yeah. Watching some of that, presentation last night, he had the thing where he never should have left Detroit. He said, that's on me. He kind of gave that one to the fans, and I think fans really appreciated that.
What was that over? Contract or?
I don't remember why he left. Listen, the young me was not as in tune with the NHL and the reasons, but that was a cool thing. And then just a lot of kind words. The fans seem to really embrace him. He is a beloved Detroit Red Wing, to say the least.
Do we think they're heading in the right direction right now? Because there's no question.
First place, baby.
Very impressive so far, first half of the season. Let's welcome him in now. Darren McCarty, 4-time Stanley Cup champion, host of the Woodward Sports Network. We're just Mac, how are you, my friend? First of all,
Good, fellas. How you doing?
we're good.
How's everybody? This
Yeah,
news?
we're good. What a great night for you and your particular alumni, especially the Stanley Cup champion teams, to watch Fedorov last night. Just your overall thoughts of last night and how really special it was for you.
I think really for a lot of us, and not just the players, but the fans and stuff, it put a tight, nice bow cherry on top to whatever you want to call it, the present, the dessert, to something. And Kipper, you remember because of, playing through those days and stuff like this. And I think because there was always a little bit of contention with, how Sergei left, and it wasn't the Red Wing, sort of departure and stuff. And I think that's why it's taken so long. But cooler heads have finally prevailed. And the best part, if you go watch it, what you got is the authentic Sergei Fedorov that told you his truth, right, in a bunch of different ways, and sort of cleared up a bunch of things and did it his way, from coming out in a Corvette, right, coming out in a 90s Corvette, which was so Sergei. So I think for all of us that know Sergei, whether you're a fan, a friend, a teammate, or whatever, last night was unbelievable. It was a cherry on top, and I think it's just the way the game ended and overtime and stuff like that. It was perfect.
Darren, I hate to have you do our research for us here, but I don't remember exactly the details of his departure and what made it sort of contentious. Could you just fill me in a little bit on what those details were? Because to me, it's been like, wait, why? I haven't understood why there was this sort of divide between the two sides.
Well, I think it always had gone back to maybe it was the contract offer that he'd accepted from Carolina that Detroit had matched. And then along the lines, after he'd won in 2002, it was one of these things that, like Sergei said it last night, and I can relate to it because I left and came back during the lockout from 05 and went to Calgary, and then was able to come back and finish here. But the fact he said is that his head was different places, and he'd been there, and he left, and that was on him. But as the reason is for all of us that just are interested in the why, well, he went and he found the love of his life, and now he's got 2 kids, and that he said it poignantly, is that it's on me that I left, but if I wouldn't have left, I wouldn't have met the love of my life and have 2 beautiful kids. So I think we can all understand the way that life works, and something that it's unfortunate. And I just think to be addressed, that people sort of weren't happy. I know like a bunch of times that Sergei Fedorov got booed, and whether it was Joe Louis when he came back, and it was just because there was a lot of hurt feelings. I think that was one of the most hurt feelings, I guess, in the Red Wing organization. But everything worked itself out, and last night was a culmination, and that's why it was put a pretty bow on it.
You're watching and listening to Darren McCarty, 4-time Stanley Cup champion, doing terrific work on the Woodward Sports Network. We are talking Sergei Fedorov retiring his 91 jersey last night. So correct me if I'm wrong, Mac, but you broke in the year he won the MVP, correct?
Yeah, the Hart, the Pearson, and the Selke, right? Never to be done. So that was my first year.
Yeah.
Unreal.
So, that was my wheelhouse, where it was Wayne and Mario, and Sergei comes in with this remarkable season. I'm just, do people truly know how good he was? And at that point, he was the best player on the planet that season. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, no, for sure. Just here's the thing, what we always do, Kipper, right? Just go ask Gretz. Gretz is the one who would be tooting Sergei's horn. It's the fact of just get out there and watch it. And because it was, I think we'd started to see, the Russian player come over. I mean, look at the guys that he grew up with and played with, the Burres and the Mogilnys, and the way that, they could skate. They all did it. Sergei just did it at 200 feet. Right, he did it all over the ice, and then later in his career reverted. Scotty needed to get him more ice time, so he said, "Hey, go play defense and win a cup." So I mean, it's like, and the talk, around our room or whatever is just how talented he is, and And trust me, I've been around super talented guys, but this is a guy that if he crafted at defense would probably won a Norris, and that's not coming from me. So, just an exceptional talent, for whatever reason. And I think that like a lot of times, it just goes out noticed. I think for us, Kipper, is because we were playing in the West, right? And you're looking almost 30. You're looking 30 years ago, and the way that it's covered, so it sort of sneaks up on you. You would have heard about it in New York and in Toronto and stuff like this, just because of being in the hockey world. But as far as everybody else, I mean, it's unbelievable. All you got to do is go talk to guys that were on the ice with them.
Okay, so if you counted the seconds I skated backwards in my career, I don't think it would add up to a minute. What were your first?
You and me both.
What was your first as a team watching Sergei go back there? What were your first thoughts, and what was it like watching one of the best forwards all of a sudden go back there and make it look like it's a walk in the park?
It was absolute BS because now I had to go chase Lidstrom and Fedorov in practice, right? I mean, you get like that's why the grind line was so angry during the games. We never got to touch the puck in practice. They got the Russian 5. You got, Sergey. You got Nick. I mean, yeah, that's why you wonder why we take runs at Chelly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a Hall of Famer, and it might have been the easiest back there. So no, I think it was just it was more. See, we were conditioned, right, by then into 02 with that Hall Hall of Fame team and stuff is it was just getting Sergey on the ice. When the Russians were on the ice anyways, it was like half the time one of the forwards was playing D anyway. So it doesn't surprise me how easily he kept to it. One of the things I think the difference is, which makes the best of the best, is not putting themselves in position for guys like us to continue to take runs at him and get pieces of him. And then Sergey was he was smart like that. So, yeah, I mean, frustrating to say the least, but that's just because I had to play him in practice, not in the game.
Are you
That's
good
awesome.
on Sergey?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's move to the Detroit Red Wings Hockey Club, which is in first place in the Atlantic Division right now. Go ahead.
Can I just say one more thing before we get off the Fedorov?
Please do.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing, if people didn't see, that Sergey said, right, was that when he said to Steve Yzerman, and you can argue who the greatest captain is, right? You played with one in Mark Messier. I mean, that's apples to apples. Sidney Crosby's a great one. We're not arguing that. But the fact that Sergei Fedorov said that Steve Yzerman is the person that he learned the most from, right, on and off the ice, that lays everything out to the relationship that people always speculated that they had a confrontation. You know what I mean? It was combative or whatever. No, it was sort of big brother, little brother. And I think that choked Stevie up last night. And Steve Yzerman, man, does never show emotion.
No. That's an accomplishment, choking them up.
That's
so I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, great.
That's what make sure that everybody knows that. And that's what I took from it. And it was just like, yeah. So I think a lot of questions got answered for a lot of people yesterday.
That's awesome. I think fans probably loved it and deserve to get that. They're also loving this team, as I mentioned, in first place right now. Handful of wins in a row. Are they a first place team? What have you seen? What do you think this Detroit Red Wings team is?
Where's the dice? Whoever the first place, let's roll it. Pick a team.
Right.
There's 4 of us. Grab another guy. I mean, it's Eastern Conference. Where doesn't matter. I think the question is this a playoff team?
Yeah.
And I think that yes, it is. Now, I'm not going to fall into, because like I said, you go on a 3 or 4 game losing streak and you're looking up. So I just think that the way that the NHL is, the way that they are playing, the way, especially the guy that was brought in here to be the adult, 2 of them, John Gibson is playing phenomenal hockey right now, and he just looks comfortable, and it doesn't look like he's tiring, and Cam Talbot's done a great job behind him, but he's done what he's been brought here to do. And, James Van Riemsdyk's another adult in that dressing room. And, but it's all about the youth, right? It's all about the kids and the skate and the stuff like this. And we're just grateful that now the hashtag Wiser plan, you can put the clock on it because you see the young guys. Axel, Sam Pelican, that's what I call him, the Sam Pelican. Axel, you know what I mean? Nate Danielson, Emmett Finney, guys like this. They have the speed to play against any team in the league, and that's where it starts in this game. Now, I think that it'll be interesting come trade deadline because I think that knowing Stevie is that he's going to try to, just like we used to in the past, now's the time to insulate your team, whether it's bringing the veteran guy in and stuff like that, solidifying your roster because, playoff hockey is just a little bit different. But the way that the league goes nowadays, it's playoff hockey every night. So it's crazy. They got to keep doing what they're doing. And that's the step. So it's not when, it's when. You sit here and ask me, I don't think they're a cup caliber team just yet, but I think that they're a lot closer to it now than they were at the beginning of the year.
So you've seen the finishing touches on a Stanley Cup roster multiple times. What is it particularly you would look for? A top scorer, a top six scorer, a bottom heavy guy, D? Where would you go, Mac?
There's the three, right, Kyper? Are you taking a top six guy, a scorer, somebody that can move in, be on your top two power play that plays minutes, that has experience, i.e. a guy like a Rust in Pittsburgh, right? Like, are you going to experience that? Or are you going to go further down the roster and try to solidify and look a little bit different? Sherwood in Vancouver, a little bit heavier, like a guy that can play some minutes and also, be that guy. Or are you going to go for Murphy or Samuelson or somebody on defense, like a 4-5 guy to solidify yourself? So I think it's all up for grabs and it's all open. I know that back in our day, even before the salary cap, Scotty would go out and get all of them. So I don't think that happens now. I really think because regular season is getting those goals and getting that extra point. It's about not losing games. Don't look in the wins or column or whatever. Look in the loss. And if you have less losses, that means you're getting points. But in playoffs, man, it's keep the puck out of the net. So I think for me, I want that D. I want that 3-4 D guy, somebody that can play in the lineup. I mean, Ben Sherratt's done an unbelievable job with the young kid. But let's utilize and solidify that. Usually because it's a little bit different in playoffs, but you need guys because somebody's probably gonna go down, but who can step up. So the interesting part is that I think that there'll be some activity in Detroit this trade deadline.
That's always way more fun. You talked a little bit earlier on the show here about Fedorov playing D, and you had Lidstrom. You've seen some really good D. Mo Seider this year has got himself not just in Norris conversations. I heard him in Hart conversations too. What are your thoughts on the steps he's taken this year to become one of the league's elite?
Yeah, I mean, he is really stepping up. You look at those two back there and Mo Seider, who's ahead, but Simon Edvinsson also, and the two of them playing together, being his second year. He's doing exactly what Stevie thought projected, right? We all project guys to be. I think that, with Axel coming up and the way that they've got it, he's playing, yes, the intense minutes and against the top players, but there's a comfortability to him. Last year, it just seemed that it was a little bit more not nervousness, just the puck didn't sit as well on his stick. Now he takes the game over. I always said that, I look at guys and who does he remind me of, or who we want to turn into or we want to be. Like myself, I always just wanted to be Rick Tocchet. Okay. So, but with him, it's Victor Hedman. Mm-hmm. So if he gets closer to being that lead, right? And I think that Mo, also too leaning towards that in that youth. But yes, he's definitely a leader. He's wearing a letter for a reason. All those guys. I think he's bounced back to anybody who had criticized about us, last year not playing as well. He's really taken that to heart, and every night he's one of your best players out there, as he has to been. You're led by this team by Mo Sider on D and Dylan Larkin on forward, but everybody else getting the support.
Matt, great stuff, man. We so appreciate you dropping in. Fantastic stuff from last night. You're always welcome on this show, pal.
Anytime. Keep crushing it, boys. Remember, the Red Wings are going to get better, so you're going to need to call and you're going to reach out. None of the other
got that right.
Kyper, none of the other guys answer your call, but I do. I love you.
You got that right, Mac.
Drapes is on a pickleball court right now. I'm sure of it, so
Drapes dropped me long ago.
That's all right. You got me now, Kyper.
I love it, man.
The trenches together.
That is Stanley Cup champion, Darren McCarty.
Great stuff.
Yeah. How about him, eh? Rick Tocchet. That's so cool. I love that.
I mean, that's a great guy for him to have aspired to be, right? That just like an extra skill level and whatever. And Mac he was a force all around.
All-time leader in Gordie Howe hat tricks.
Rick Tocchet.
Yeah.
So just to put a bow on Detroit here, because
he knows
we don't know how this thing ends up, particularly in the Atlantic, right? This was the year that Detroit had to make a move. This is the year that Stevie Yzerman had to show something here, and he's gotten it there, at least for the first half of the season. Now, the one interesting thing that you got to keep in mind is that, like, Tampa's limited, Florida's limited, the Leafs are even limited on assets and what they can do to improve their roster. Whereas Detroit is fresh, man. They're loaded. They can easily fit guys in.
They have the second lowest salary cap. They have all their first.
They
8
have
picks this
assets. Like this is now who's in a position to improve their roster between now and March and the deadline, and it's Detroit and Montreal, and those are the top teams that. Are they going to hold on?
I hope those two, as someone who does a Leafs Hour, I hope those two have a bidding war for Artemi Panarin or something. Half a season of Artemi Panarin.
They'll get him. They'll get him, and they'll have assets to keep to spare too.
Yeah,
maybe the Red Wings will reunite. Didn't Kane and Panarin play together in Chicago?
Oh my God, yeah.
Maybe we'll bring those two guys back together.
The Red Wings, they've overachieved based on their performance this season to date. Like they've got as many points.
Yeah, you haven't been impressed with them though.
Nah, I still think they're good. Like they're fine. They're deep. They're solid.
Playoff
they're fine.
team.
The last time we covered them against the Leafs, it was like for 39 minutes. You're like, how?
Yeah.
How are they a top team?
I mean, they go through their roster, and I'm like, I guess Andrew Kopp and
then the light switch kind of went off a little bit.
Well, they're solid. Then they got the D are the big thing. That Edvinsson is good.
Yes, he's
and
good.
Sider's elite.
Their fans were pissed that he didn't make Team Sweden.
That Edvinsson didn't. Yeah,
Edvinsson, like people were talking about him not making. I saw a big thing about Oliver Ekman-Larsson making it over Edvinsson was a pretty questionable decision.
Wait till guys get hurt.
Oh, there's someone
then
else
they'll
in
be
Sweden
happy.
that was tough to leave off that they missed.
Pontus Holmberg made it.
Yeah.
But like, do you think they'd be in the conversation for a Kadri kind of acquisition, the Red Wings?
I think they'd be in a conversation for Pettersson.
Elias Pettersson.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
That one makes sense to me.
Really?
For sure. Yeah.
But
there's a lot of places this roster can go.
Did Matthias Ekholm not make the roster?
No, he definitely made it.
He definitely made it.
He had to have made it.
Yeah. But we'll get into that too with Rick.
We will. Game time?
Game time.
It's game time, presented by Bet365. Visit the app for latest odds and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. Lots of action. Again, there's just 10 games every single night. Every team plays every night. So if you're a hockey fan, these next 2 weeks are literally the dream time for you because there's just so many games going on. I'll take a look first at the Toronto Maple Leafs, who play the second half of a back-to-back in Utah. Did you want to hazard a guess?
Sorry, Ekholm didn't make it.
What?
Yeah, and Broberg did.
Ekholm didn't make Team Sweden?
It's a good thing for the Oilers. Rest.
And Philip Broberg, who they moved.
Just signed a fat new contract, too, that Broberg.
Sorry. Anyway.
I was surprised by that.
Anyway, so I'm just saying that Edmondson was not the next guy up, in my opinion.
Wow. The Toronto Maple Leafs are plus 125 tonight, a slight underdog in Utah, taking on the Mammoth on the second half of back-to-back. Mammoth minus 150 on the money line. Just a lot of Atlantic teams playing in games. And, you're just hoping for some losses for a Leafs perspective. But the Detroit Red Wings and Boston Bruins, they're playing. That's for the marquee game tonight.
3 points.
I will promise you that this game goes to overtime. I'm just going to check out what a tie, I guess it would be a tie pays if I know how to look that up. I'm not sure I do. But give me the Detroit Red Wings in that game as an underdog on the road at the Bruins. And give me a... Sorry, I just lost it here. Okay. Oh, boy. I was just going to say, it's gone. So I'm not going to give you anything there. And also the Montreal Canadiens, another Atlantic team in Washington, taking on the Capitals, plus 115 on the money line there. Some decent value, in my opinion, for the pretty good Montreal Canadiens, who are an underdog in Washington. Anyways, that was Game Time presented by Bet365. Visit the app for latest odds and see why it's ever ordinary at Bet365. Must be 18 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. You just got to blow through it.
What are we going to do with that?
Listen. I was going to look up a goal. It blew away. It was going to take me time. I was going to hum and haw. Just power through.
The whole segment hinges on his Wi-Fi working.
No, I was swiping over something and it all disappeared and I just had to power through.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right.
No better explanation than that.
That's all you need.
Would you rather me sit here and be like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I don't
You're
know
good. You
if I
saved
am.
us time. Put it that way.
What do you mean?
Okay.
No.
We'll take a quick break here. We'll get Sammy's, what do you call it? Tinder? Swipe left, swipe right. What is
I
it?
don't know what you're going for, pal. Swipe left.
Yeah, swipe left for dates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not sure what you're looking for.
Yeah, what's the
What
joke?
words
Well, how you swipe left or swipe right when you're doing that.
Oh, okay.
You have a swiping pattern that you're
Good
used
one.
to, maybe.
Good one, buddy.
All right.
What
Hey,
a joke. Got Carlin over there.
No, 10 out of 10. Sorry. Tender. Is it Tinder? Tinder?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Calm yourself down.
Yeah.
We'll get her going on Sportsnet 650 in Vancouver as we go Vancouver Canucks next with Rick Dhaliwal, co-host of Donnie and Dolly, the team on Czech television. What do the Canucks do? We'll answer that and more, especially with Sammy on his Wi-Fi after the break. A reminder, this hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. We'll just wait on Rick Dhaliwal. In the meantime, there is an update about Braden Point from Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah.
What is the latest?
The latest is that his season is not over. They avoided the worst case scenario. He is week to week. What does that mean for the Olympics?
Yeah, there's just no way I think you would jeopardize Tampa Bay Lightning season for the Olympics.
If it's 3 weeks, that's February 3rd or so. Like, you need a conditioning stint, maybe.
Interesting. All right, let's welcome in Rick, co-host of Donnie and Dolly. Rick, how are you, buddy? Look at you, steady. Oh, I just spoke too soon. Yeah, buddy, you're great. You are absolutely great.
Always a pleasure to join Toronto's best.
Listen, usually we have you scheduled at the top of the hour, but based on what we've seen out of the Vancouver Canucks lately, you're like that break the glass in case of emergency right now on our show. So that's what we're doing to find out what the heck is going on out there, what are the vibes, and where is this thing heading, and where did it derail maybe, Rick, in your eyes in the last 12, 18 months?
Well, that's a great question, Nick. It started going downhill. Miller-Pettersson, right? Miller-Pettersson, that feud, because the year before they took Edmonton to Game 7. That's where it started, let's be honest. And then Quinn Hughes, he wants out of town. Let me tell you something, Kyper, they're finally using the rebuild word in Vancouver, but let's get one thing straight. Being in 32nd place in rebuilding was not a part of the plan this year, right? This season was all win for Quinn. It was, let's have a great year so next summer we can sign Quinn Hughes. Well, that didn't go according to plan, did it? They're in 32nd place because of massive mistakes by management, especially at the center ice position. This team once had Pettersson, Horvat, Miller, Lindholm in the last 2.5 years. 3 of those guys are gone. They now have David Kampf as a second-line center. Brock Besser hasn't scored in 20 games. Kampf can't get him the puck. Skilled wingers need a centerman to get him the puck. And guess what? Kampf isn't it. And the fact that he's your second-line center is not good. The rebuild here, guys, is going to consist of playing young kids, surrounding them with good veterans. They clearly want the rebuild not to be 6, 7, 8, 9 years like Buffalo, Detroit, Arizona, San Jose, Florida. Those guys took forever, right? Some of them are still going through it. These things aren't fun. But when they start trading some of these vets, Nick, that you're keeping an eye on too, I know you do a great job, trade-wise, it's going to get worse here. They're in 32nd place with veterans. When they get rid of some of these guys like Sherwood and Kane and, O'Connor and all these guys, things are not going to get better. They're going to get worse, because if they're true to their word about a rebuild, then younger kids are coming, and you got to play the heck out of the young kids. But Vancouver fans, honestly, guys, Kyper, Bourne, they just want to see a plan. They just want to see clarity. In the past 15 years, there's been one playoff win. That was 2 years ago, right? It's been a lot of bad ownership, management, going through coaches. It's been since 2011 in the magical run. It's been a real tough time in Vancouver. They just want a plan. They just want a plan and clarity. And if you're going to say rebuild, which they have, but they haven't really started doing rebuild things yet. Start doing the rebuild things, like trading veterans and big contracts for young kids and draft picks, like Montreal. Last night we're watching the Habs, and everybody in the city is going goo-goo gaga over what the Habs did and their rebuild. So, and Trevor Linden told the owner in 2017 to do the rebuild, and then Jim Benning says, hold on, I can fix it in 2 years. Well, which way did he go? He went Jim's way and not Trevor's way. Just give us a plan, show clarity, and execute the plan. I think that's all the people of Vancouver want.
So it doesn't sound like you're convinced there's a clear plan as of now. So does that mean you're not sure? Like, where is a guy like Sherwood? Do you think that's going to happen soon?
All right, let me get into. There's a ton of guys here. Let's get into the guys. First of all, there's too many guys that are over 21 with no moves and trade protection. Like they were handing out trade protection like candy, right? And so you got to deal with that. And one team told me that, mostly the guys available in Vancouver are wingers. Like, the goalies aren't available. I don't see any defensemen available. 3 of their defensemen are either 20 years old or 21. I think most of their guys available are wingers. So the team told me, we can't call Vancouver because it's mostly wingers available, and we got a lot of wingers. So Sherwood's the big name, right? No question he's going to get moved, but now he's injured, 1 to 3 weeks. So you guys got to keep an eye on the Olympic roster freeze, February 4th. There's a good chance, guys, Sherwood might be not playing until the roster freeze. Then you come out of the Olympic freeze and you only have 12 days to the deadline. So let me get into Sherwood. Lots of interest, leads the team in goals, power play, penalty killing, hits. Good guy, good team guy, great motor, hardest working guy, him and Garland. It's not even close. Salary is low. Playoff teams love him. There's not a team in the league that can't fit him in cap-wise. Canucks still want a first rounder and something else. They're not getting it. But I will tell you something. When they first started shopping Sherwood, it wasn't for a first. I had another team tell me that as soon as he started scoring at a good clip and a ton of teams started calling, they upped it to a first. And I don't have a problem with that. I just don't know if they're going to get a first. Lots of interest on Sherwood. Teams love the way he plays. They think he's going to be a good playoff guy on a playoff team. Canucks tried to keep him a couple of weeks ago. They made an offer around $4 million a year, right? 3-4 years. In the summer, they offered 3 times 3 with his old agent. But this is most likely going to end up, I think, guys, Sherwood in a trade. But they gave it the old college try. But the $4 million ain't going to cut it. The Dvorak contract in Philadelphia is more like what Sherwood's going to get in the summer, or if he can cut a deal with the team before a trade.
So you had mentioned center ice and Camp now, their second line centerman. Where are we on EP40, Pettersson, and they're thin at center? Does it matter anymore? Does it not matter? Just move them if you can, providing you can get the assets that you think still a $10 or $11 million player could command?
He's got a no move too. I don't see.
Does he want to stay?
I think he does. You have to go back to when the Canucks threatened him with a trade and sign or trade or whatever, and he said no, I don't want to go anywhere. Like Kyper, he didn't sign for 7-8 years because he wants to leave a year in. Like, I don't have any evidence or proof that he wants out. And when I bring it up with his agent, JP Barry, JP doesn't. He hates it when I bring up these scenarios with him. But he's got a no move. I got no evidence that he wants out or he would want to get out. He just got married in the summer. I don't have evidence right now, Kyper, that he wants out. And here's the other one for you. If you do trade him, you better get his centerman back, because I just told you they're the weakest team in the National Hockey League at center when David Kamp's your second guy. Rossi's hurt. Heedle's hurt. They got Braden Coots coming from the Western Hockey League in a couple of years. He's going to be a good one. But, I'm looking at this year's draft too. I got to feel, because of their center ice position, they'd love to grab a centerman in the top 10 too. They got their eyes on, some good ones, including one in your neck of the woods, Caleb Malhotra, who's having a great year in the OHL. Look, Kyper, if you trade Pettersson, who's your first-line center? Are you getting a first-line center back? I mean, he's not ripping it up anyways, but I just think there's
can in the
Henrik's
draft.
position.
You can in the draft. You find him in the draft. You load up, and you look at developing him in the next 2 or 3 years, 4 years. That's what a rebuild's about.
Yeah, I get that. And the pain is coming, like, in this city, because, like, I got to tell you guys something. It's easy to say rebuild. It's harder to go through it. Go ask Detroit. Go ask Buffalo. It's been 14 years. I mean, and I think the Canucks' preference is to not do 6, 7, 8, 9 years and do it quicker. Well, how do you do it quicker? There's going to be pain. They're the dead last in the league, guys, for a reason. It's not a good hockey club right now.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, last one for me, Rick. Just want to get your thoughts on Thatcher Demko. Are you hearing anything about his future? What's going on with him?
Well, he got hurt right in your neck of the woods there in Toronto on Saturday. I was told this morning they're still evaluating him. They're hopeful for an update either tonight or tomorrow. There's something wrong. He's getting hurt every 9th or 10th game. He had a knee issue this year. He had a groin injury for 5 weeks. But I was told this morning they're going to take their time and look at everything, right? When he's healthy for long stretches, guys, he's a Vezina candidate. Problem is, he's played 23 games last year, 20 this year. He can't stay healthy. And he's going to make $8.5 million next year. Like, guys, between Demko and Lankinen, they're going to pay $13 million, close to $13 million on 2 goalies, and possibly in a rebuild. Well, they're going to be in a rebuild. They're not going to be good next year, and you're going to pay 2 goalies $13 million, right? So there's a lot of factors at play. And the club signed him on July 1st. Many are wondering, why didn't you guys wait? Why didn't you guys wait to see how he did this year and then sign him? But anyways, that's what's the point? It's over with. I will tell you something else. Demko was high on the U.S. Olympic team's list to replace injured guys. The 3 guys are, and I'm going to tell you something else. The Americans thought about him seriously. They just couldn't get over the injuries. But when the 3 other goalies were picked ahead of him, the Americans had told him that if there's an injury, you're most likely going to be the first guy called up to replace, but I don't know where that sits now. When he's on and when he plays well and he's healthy, unbelievable goaltender. But he's going through a stretch here, guys, with injuries is just unbelievable.
Rick, really appreciate your joining us today under short notice, man, but we'll keep an eye on a lot of these storylines. Thanks for joining us.
Always. Anytime for you guys.
Thanks, Rick. Appreciate it.
Rick Dhaliwal.
Yeah.
This Demko situation is like couldn't come at a worse time because you've now took a very good goaltender and the injuries have devalued him immensely to the point where USA Hockey doesn't see him as a viable substitution if anything happens. And what team would trade for him even if they decided to move him?
No, it's a fair point. If you don't trust that a guy is going to be available for you, then it's just...
That's why I was surprised they paid him that money. It's just...
Hey,
I guess you feel like if you pay him,
it wasn't a 6-year deal, thank goodness.
Still, though, I mean, it's 3, right? It was 3.
But don't you feel like with those guys, it's like, well, pay him if he's healthy, good. If he's not healthy, it's LTIR. I know it's not nothing, but it can affect your ability to accrue cap money and all that if you're forced to be an LTIR, but...
I do like Sherwood.
I don't like him for your Leafs.
No, but I like him as a player. I wouldn't trade first for him, but I like him.
Other storylines around the league, the Rangers are, they're in big trouble.
They're in big trouble, eh?
I don't know where they're headed, much like a lot of teams where you just blink and their roster's older. A lot of 33, 34, 35-year-olds here. JT Miller, former Vancouver Canuck, was supposed to come in there and change the culture and make it a little tougher. And it's just
He's made it tougher, all right.
It just
Tougher
hasn't
to be around.
Hasn't turned around. Do we have any sound from JT Miller?
We have a clip. Yeah, I think we do have a clip. Jaja grabbed it. It's just him kind of being at his wit's end
What's your message to the group and just the emotions after a loss like this? And I mean, I know how much you guys are trying to do the right things.
Oh, I didn't say anything. I don't know what to say. I mean, we're going to go try to have a good practice tomorrow and get ready for the next game.
Don't know what to say.
Yeah, and he was also asked something to the effect of like, did you have like an emotional dip or energy dip? And he's like, I don't know.
Sounds like it.
How do you feel about that? You think he owes more of an explanation? That's the other thing too.
Yes,
Is
the captain of the New York Rangers. You
I
got to
know.
answer the question better, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's never pretended to be that guy either.
Okay,
I don't care.
So
Right?
then
I'm
don't make him
not
your captain.
making any excuse for him, but I'd rather him say, I don't know what to say. I believe that's true.
Yeah,
I believe
and you can
he.
explain that answer though. Here's why I don't know what to say. I'm not seeing it from our team, or maybe we were at long run. You can elaborate on why
But
you don't
there's
know.
also opportunities to dig yourself in a little deeper if you don't want to go there, you have the right just to say, I don't know what to say. Even though you are the
Yeah.
captain, it's a
If
little
Austin
bit of
Matthews did that though, you'd be like, that's unacceptable from the representative of this giant organization who's supposed to be the emotional leader who's brought in to change the culture, and the culture he's bringing is more apathy and.
But the difference would be is we know where this is headed for JT and this team. It's like it's over.
Well, if that's the case, yeah,
Right?
okay,
It's over.
Well,
And-
in terms of a playoff run,
Yeah,
in
for a
terms
playoff
of-
run, and ultimately, if they are going to go into a rebuild, like they're going to have to clean some house here.
Write another
Panarin,
letter.
yeah, maybe write another letter, do whatever you need to do. But we just talked about Vancouver and maybe some pain coming up. There might be some short-term pain, maybe longer-term for a window that's now closed in New York.
They got Trocheck signed for this year and 3 more, and Miller for
Trocheck's
5-6 more.
Trocheck's a guy that a lot of teams would trade for right now.
Yeah, for sure they would. I mean, he's 32.
What's his cap hit? It's a little expensive.
No, it's not. It's 5.6. The guy
Yeah.
made the
Okay,
US
so it's in the
Olympic.
wheelhouse.
Which
I know. I feel the same way as
did
that.
you want to hear
I want Lafreniere out of there.
Sullivan's thoughts? He has good quotes
Yeah.
too. If you could play the Sullivan clip there, Derek.
This is a good group of guys, and they care a lot about what's going on. And when you don't have success, nobody feels it more than us. And so I understand the circumstance that we're in, but the answers are inside our locker room, and that's where we have to look for them.
Oof. He's an intense guy, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Everything really, whenever he talks, it really feels like life and death. Not a lot of levity with him.
Well, can I tell you, I'm going to write this at some point, but hockey loves a serious man.
He's the most hockeyman of as
like
it gets.
They loved Lane Lambert, Dave
Yeah.
Hackstall. Like, give me your most serious men, and I'll make them a coach
But,
for
like,
some reason.
Berube, for example, here is a hockeyman,
But a
like,
perceived serious man, I would say.
but he'll like with the media, he'll have a joke. He was talking about the
So, I have an elaborate theory about this. I'm going to write it all at some point.
okay.
Once you win, you earn the right. Paul Maurice is probably a more serious man. Wins some cups, has some. It's not even the cups. It's like longevity.
Okay.
Eventually, you earn the right to have levity. Paul Maurice, John Cooper, they've got a little bit of
they levitate.
right. Levitate.
Yeah, they're sitting at the top of the mountain.
Well, that's it, and they get to be like, haha.
Yeah.
But if you want to rise in the ranks and get hired for NHL jobs, you need to be a serious hockey.
But I
man.
feel like Mike Sullivan, he's won. He's been around forever. It kind of hurts
Okay.
your theory.
It hurts my theory that levity comes. I think you get permission to be levitatious.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's. I'm aware that's not a word.
You got to have a sense of humor too, though.
Like a
You got to have a
touch.
good sense of humor to kind of get away with a lot of things.
Yeah, it helps.
Some guys just aren't funny people.
No, that's true. That's true too.
How about the Devils last night winning the Hughes Bowl?
You know what
Big
to talk about?
win.
Yep, that was good. You want to talk about Linus Ullmark back practicing
Oh,
with the
Dougie
team
Hamilton,
today? No one
boys.
wants to
I
talk
told
about
you
Ottawa?
that
I don't want to do anymore. I plead the fifth.
Dougie Hamilton 2 assists.
Dougie Hamilton 2 assists.
I told you they're going to come begging back for him.
Who? The Devils? Or other teams?
Well, I'll just play well and give us more options here.
So yeah, Allmark on the ice
With the team,
with the team.
I think.
Yeah.
Maybe, perhaps.
Yeah.
On personal leave.
So Allmark's
but not
back.
leaving personally.
Also back, Oilers activated Jari and Jake Wallman from LTIR today.
Ooh, Wallman's back.
Yeah.
So Ingram
He's
going back.
he's got to go to another level too. Wallman.
Wallman, yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't great in the
No.
part of the season.
And they paid him
A
like
ton.
he was great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they give him
7
7 by that's
7, I think.
yeah. He was really excited to spend that Connor McDavid savings, eh?
Yeah.
He's like 7 to you, Ekholm, Roslovic, everybody gets a cut. So
Erik Karlsson out 2 weeks with a lower body injury. The Penguins still hanging around. Just
I think Kyle
beetlejuicing around
Dubas
the
wants to
cut line.
just sell.
he's like, can you guys just start sucking
Yeah.
so I can
Just
trade
start.
everybody?
Please take me off the hook here.
They have officially fallen out of a playoff spot.
And Connor
2
Ingram
losses in a row.
in 7 since Jari went down has a 904 and a 270. So he's held them
Very good.
Held their head above water with their goaltending. Well,
Saw someone say that was the best goalie performance they've had all year last night.
Wow.
Our thanks to Bill Armstrong, general manager of Utah, in our Leaf Hour edition. And then Darren McCarty, 4-time Stanley Cup champion. Rick Dhaliwal, co-host of Donnie and Dolly on Czech television in Vancouver. Thanks for your contributions. 10 games on tap tonight. Find yours. And then join us right here back on the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. You know, out of all the shows we've done, this was one of them.
Absolutely.
Have a great night, everybody.